Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Game 5 reaction show right here on the Variety Sports Network. My name is Brandon. This is the 5-0. Let's get started. What a game by the Edmonton. I mean, just insane. The series is now 3-2 after the Oilers' 5-3 victory tonight in Sunrise, Florida, as they head back to Alberta for Game 6 on Friday night. Aaron, just wow. That's all I can
Yeah,
say.
exactly. They must have listened to our shows because we were literally telling them you have to score. In the last two games, they've scored. I'm not a math surgeon,
13.
but what is that, like 13 goals? Yeah,
Yeah.
so insane. Connor McDavid's coming alive. I mean, he had an incredible pass to Corey Perry,
Yes.
but just him in general, I hope now at the Stanley Cup Finals puts the league on notice that he is the best player in the league. People need to recognize that just because he's in Alberta. But now this is a crazy Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah. It's been the first three games were like, oh, this is going to be over and for in and out. We'll see you next year. And Edmonton's like, nah, nah, no, 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 not so much. As we're again headed to Game 6 on Friday night. You did have a little bit of a push from the Florida Panthers though in that third period. Uh,
Even in that second period,
yeah,
like
towards the end of
the
the second period was good too.
yeah. I mean, I if you told me the Florida Panthers would go 14 minutes without a shot on goal, I wouldn't have believed you because of what I've seen through the first
Yeah.
round, second Eastern Conference Finals, and the first three games Stanley Cup. I was like, you're on drugs. There's no
Yeah.
way. And the fact that the Edmonton did that is really showing that their blue line is actually stepping up. They're hitting. They're doing pretty good on the forecheck, doing what they need to do to help out Stuart Skinner, which is great for them.
Yep.
And shout out to freaking Edmonton's power play, man. They have two goals on Florida's power play, and Florida only has one in the last two games.
Yeah, the power play for the what's not even just the power play, it's just the special teams in general for the Edmonton Oilers. You had back-to-back games now where you start the scoring with a shorthanded goal, which is the first time that's ever happened in the Stanley Cup Finals. By the way, if you didn't know that, or for those who didn't know that, it's the first time there's been two shorthanded goals to start the scoring for any Stanley Cup final game for back to back games. Back to back games. Put it that way.
You would
Um,
think there would be more. That's insane.
you would think. You would think, but what is that? Is that where that thumb? Where did that thumbs up come from?
When I do a thumbs up on my phone, it does that. It's weird.
That's weird. I haven't seen that before. Um,
And for anybody that's wondering, I am still at work, so this is how much I love hockey. I'm literally on the clock talking hockey right now.
yeah. Um, what do you think of Stuart Skinner the last couple of games? He's been a whole different goalie since game 1 through 3.
Well, the only thing that's changed, I think, is still the blue line for the Oilers because he has been standing on his head this entire series. And I believe it was NHL Network or I think it's 32 Thoughts podcast, they were asking if they should take out Stuart Skinner.
Yeah.
Someone said Jack Campbell. I was like, no, you keep him out. But I was
Campbell.
like, yeah, they said Jack Campbell, and then they asked if they should just bench him. And I'm like, no, he's the only guy that's actually doing something on this team. And the fact that Knobloch stuck to his guns, he's like, listen, you're our starter. You brought us here. You're going to keep playing us in the Cups. I think that's tremendous confidence for this guy, especially against this team. I don't know what would have happened if they benched him. I think they would have lost in Alberta. What was it, Saturday night? So the fact that they're keeping him in here, he's standing on his head still, and now he's getting help from his defense. I mean, it's nothing better than that for a goaltender.
Yeah. Well, what has surprised you at least? Um, what surprised you the most in this game? I think it's for me it is just the play of the Edmonton Oilers. They look so much more composed, so much more relaxed playing in game 4 and 5 than they were game 1, 2, and 3. I know we mentioned it before that maybe this was just like game 1, 2, and 3 was just the Edmonton Oilers trying to figure out what type of team Florida is. I could be wrong, but maybe that's a little bit of what's going on here. And maybe they have figured out the Florida Panthers.
Um, I mean, I think they figured them out a little bit. Like they're kind of chinking out their armor. And as we said it before, Bobrovsky can't stop the 5-hole goals. Right down below 5-hole. So I think that helps, and I think it's just the jitters. I think because the only playoff experience of that team is Corey Perry, and he has a curse on him, and still the only player in the NHL history to have 5 Stanley Cup appearances with 5 different teams. So that definitely plays a factor, and the fact that Florida's been here before
Right.
and they have all this experience. So I think it's just the jitters are calmed down now that they have 2 wins in a row, and it gives more confidence to these players. The stars are actually showing up, and no, not the Dallas Stars. We got the McDavids, the Hymans, the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Just even though he's not really scoring, but he's doing great on the power play and no, he's not on the penalty kill. But he's doing pretty well for that second line because they're trying to do the Drysdale-McDavid line for the first line. So, I mean, I think just with the confidence of winning those games and that they're just kind of chinking at Florida because they have the speed. This team is fast.
Yeah.
McDavid is the
Yeah.
fastest guy in the league. We saw that on the assist he did to Corey Perry. He sliced through the defenders, shot it to Corey Perry for the assist, and he banked it in. Plus, did you see that McDavid goal? The first
Which
one?
one? The first,
one.
yes, his first
Oh
goal.
my God!
Yeah.
No
He just
regular
did
guy could do that.
that little bit of room that he had in between the post and Bobrovsky's pad
Amazing.
or leg basically, and he's able to squeeze that in there. I didn't even know it went in when it first popped up. I was like, that's not a goal. Like, there's no. And it's like, yeah, no, it's right there. It's in the back of the net. Like, okay, like that's a goal. It's now what 2-1, 2-0 Edmonton
Yep.
at that point in time.
Yep, and the fact that he's doing those kind of goals and they're going in,
Yeah.
that's a big confidence booster for him.
Yeah. I mean, again, we talked in game 3, in our post game show in game 3 about puck luck for the Edmonton Oilers, and I mentioned it in the game 4 one that the Edmonton Oilers have found their puck luck. It's here. They're getting things that weren't going in game 1, 2, and 3 that have been going in game 4 and 5. You get that shot, the Corey Perry goal, for example, tonight. Games 1, 2, and 3, Bob somehow manages to save that. He manages to pull and get the chest out there, get something out there, to get that stop. And same with the Connor McDavid second goal or first goal of the game, his first goal of the game. That wouldn't have went in game 1 or 2 or even 3.
No. He was trying too hard. He was putting too much pressure on himself because if you see on Twitter with all these Twitter trolls, it's like, oh, if McDavid doesn't win this cup, is he not in Wayne Gretzky territory or as a top 5 ever? I'm like, dude, like it's his first cup.
Still, yeah.
Like, what do you want him to do? He can't do everything. He can't play defense or specials and offense and play 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff is people that don't watch hockey, and that's annoying to me. Because this guy is so skilled and they put so much pressure on him to do this that they're like, oh, if he loses, he's automatically a failure. And it's like, no. Like this dude literally has, I could be wrong. I know it's 41 assists unless the second one counted as the 42nd or the 41st, whichever one. But he literally passed 93 Gretzky on the Kings. And he's gunning for 88 Gretzky with 45 assists. He's going after Mario Lemieux, who I think has 46 from 91. I could be wrong. Please put it in the comments. And then
32 assists.
So are they combining them? Oh, it's the points then. So my bad. So they're combining the points.
Yeah.
So he has 41 right now. Then so he's trying to gun for 80, 85 Gretzky with 47. So I think he can do it if they keep playing. I think he can get there.
Yeah. Look at the hits on. There's another thumbs up. Does mine do that? Mine doesn't do that.
No, iPhone only.
Only on the phone. Look at the hits tonight. So the Florida Panthers were a lot more physical of a team than the Edmonton Oilers were tonight. You get 38 hits compared to the 16 hits by the Edmonton Oilers is just the way Florida is playing. That the maybe the physicality is just it's not working.
It's just the way they're built.
Yeah.
They have all these goons on the team, and that's kind of how they built it in Florida. Whereas Edmonton, they only have like Vander Kane, who's still hurt. You have Corey Perry, but
Yeah.
he's 39 now, so you're not getting Anaheim or even Tampa Corey Perry. So that kind of hurts. And I mean, I would say Evan Bouchard, but I feel like he's just doing too much where he's just getting rattled in his own head. Even though I thought he scored a goal, I didn't realize that went off Zach Hyman's shoulder.
Yeah.
So I think if he got that goal, it would have definitely helped him out a lot. He's been struggling in these playoffs, but there's really no one on this Edmonton team that can go up against these guys. I mean, even Oliver Ekman-Larsson is like hitting some people. And I'm like, sheesh, this is Phoenix.
He they were kind of all over the place tonight. They were throwing some hits down, especially at the end of the second period, third period as well. They were throwing things around and trying to just get something. And they almost, I mean, they were really really close to tying the game tonight. Really really close. So you look at again, like we talked about at the beginning of the Stanley Cup Finals, is that Edmonton has to get that power play going. They are now like 3 for 9 or something like that in the last 2 games. I think they only had 1 power play goal last game, if I remember correctly.
They were 1 for 16 games, 1-4,
right?
And then I don't know what it was for game 5.
Yeah,
Game 5 is 2 for 4.
Yeah,
so
they went
3 for 20.
Yeah, 1 for 6 in game 4, and then tonight they were, what did I say, 2 for 5.
Did they have? Oh yeah, they had that other one. Yeah. They didn't do it.
So they're now. So what is it? 2 for 5 tonight. So they're 3 and 12, 3 and 11 in their last 2 games. How important is that for the Edmonton Oilers that the power play is clicking?
I mean, remember what we were talking about it in the first, second, in the Western Conference. They were amazing. They were first in power play and first in penalty kill. I'm not sure where they are now, but I haven't seen much of the Florida Panthers scoring on their penalty kill. So I know that their streak broke in game 2. So what? They only have two penalty kill goals they've given up. So they're still doing great on that special team aspect. But the fact now that they're scoring on the power plays is, again, it's great for them because now they're getting this juice, this resurgence, and maybe the Chris Knobloch speech saying, "Hey, we're the better team, or we're still a really good team," and just lit a fire under them. I mean, does this kind of diminish Florida's confidence because they lost 8-1 in Alberta? Now they just lost 5-3 in Florida.
They were losing 4-1 at one point tonight.
Exactly. I mean, they tried to make a comeback. Matt Chuck, stepped up right there for his goal because he's been on a milk carton since.
He did have a goal tonight.
East Coast Finals.
He did have a goal and an assist tonight, and a goal in the previous in game 4 as well. So I don't necessarily know if it's him that's missing.
Oh, so who do you think who thinks missing on this Florida team?
I think it's their captain.
Oh, Barkov.
I think
really?
It's in the last few games. I think it's Barkov. His play has been around it, but he's not getting on the score sheet.
So, do you think that Draisaitl hit in game 2 is really affecting his play?
I would not doubt if he actually had a concussion.
Oh,
and they just were like, "You're all right.
It's Stanley Cup Finals. You're good.
You're fine." Yeah.
Sniff some smelling salts. You're all right.
Yeah, because he didn't have a point again tonight.
Ooh, how many shots did he have on goal? I didn't really see him much over there.
Let me see if I can find it here. Wrong team. That's the Edmonton Oilers. Let's see. So stop. Barkov had 2 shots on goal. No goals. No assists. No points. 21 minutes and 19 seconds on the ice. 28 shifts, and he was a -2. He had 2 penalty minutes today.
Yikes. So since we're talking about Edmonton so much, what's going on in Florida? What do they need to do? Because you lost back-to-back games, going back to Alberta. The time zone can kind of hurt you still, even though you've already been there for 2 games.
Yep.
I mean, that place is going to be rocking for
Oh
game
yeah, they're gonna
6,
be.
that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. We're at a point that I don't think we thought we were gonna get to. I was not saying I was hoping tonight was gonna be the end of it, but
You
I'm
did just a
glad
little bit.
a little bit. There's a little bit like, oh thank God. Like, phew, all right, we're done. Let's move over to the draft, which is in like I don't know, like 10 days. So we bring up another guy. You could Connor Verhage also for the
Yeah.
Panthers, who hasn't been zero. He was zero across the board tonight. 3 shots on net, 16 minutes 45 seconds on the ice, and he was a -3. He had 22 shifts tonight. So that's another guy that sticks out to me. And you got your other one is Sam Reinhart. Sam Reinhart. He wasn't 21 minutes on the ice, 3 shots on goal, and he was a -2. He had 2 blocks. He was 60% on the faceoff, so that's a positive. But something's not working. Bob's not playing the way he was in game 1, 2, or 3. He was the best goalie we've seen in the Stanley Cup Finals
They were already
in
giving him
game
the
1,
Conn
2, and
Smythe.
3. And now he's let in 10 goals in 2 games.
Well, it'll be 13, right? Oh, no, that's right.
No, no,
He
because
was
they pulled
benched.
him in
That's
game
right.
4. Yeah.
That's right.
So, and he let in 5 before they pulled him in game 4. There was 4, so I guess
Each.
9 goals because you can't count the empty net goal tonight. So 9 goals in 2 games for Bob. That things aren't clicking for the Florida Panthers right now.
And I love it personally just because of what they did with the Rangers. But
Yeah,
again, I guess the Edmonton Oilers watch the 5 hole on Verizon Sports Network, and you should too. Ever watch
apparently.
this replay? Because
Yeah.
we were talking about this for the last 3 games. I wasn't on game 4, obviously, but the blue line needed to show up for Edmonton, and Carter Verhaeghe hasn't scored since game 1, and that was kind of like a kind of goal. Like I think if Igor was there or anyone else that was a better goaltender, Ottinger, they would have stopped that one. But the fact that
Yeah.
they're keeping this guy in check, a Stanley Cup winner, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they're keeping this guy in check is amazing. Sam Reinhart, I think he scored in game 2, and he's been dominant from the Eastern Conference on. And they're just shutting them down. So whatever strategy they're doing, they need to keep doing it. And Paul Coffey, just keep telling this team what to do on special teams and such because it's working.
Yeah.
Whatever he's saying, they're drinking the Kool-Aid, they're looking at his rings, and they're going with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Reinhardt had a goal in game 3.
Oh, it's 3.
Game 4. Was it game 4? No.
I didn't watch game 4, so if he
I
did,
just
that's my fault.
I just had it up here. It might have been game 3. I was just looking at it.
Yeah, but as
No,
Brandon's looking, make sure you guys subscribe to the Verizon Sports Network, trying to get
Game
up there
3.
for 600 subs. Game 3.
Game 3. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Really
again,
close to 600.
put the comments in the chat. We answer all questions in the chat, and also too on the rerun. If you have any comments, throw them in there. We answer them on Verizon Sports Network. So check that out.
We've-
And again, make sure you like, subscribe, download, tell
that fun
everyone.
stuff.
All the good
Do
stuff.
all that fun stuff. All that fun stuff while you're at it. Why not? Trying to think of any other questions I got about tonight's game. I really don't. I mean, I'm in a little bit of a shock, I think, of the way the last 2 games have went. More game 4 than tonight.
Yeah.
The way game 4 went was a little surprising, and the way Edmonton just dominated that game from start to finish. Tonight was a little bit lesser. I thought they played a very controlled, very relaxed, very with the way things can get in Florida and how quickly the Florida Panthers can score goals. I thought the Edmonton Oilers did a fantastic job tonight of keeping things in check and keeping things calm and relaxed and cool and playing their game and not trying to force a different style of hockey onto themselves to beat this stacked Florida Panthers team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too with this Edmonton team again. I said Oilers in 7. I was a little definitely nervous after the game 3 post game. You can check that one out. I was like, I don't think Edmonton's going to get this. But the fact that now they're starting to click on all cylinders when it's crunch time and when they need it the most, I mean, anything can happen. And me and Jerry and CP, all Blue Shirts banner on the CPNY Sports Network, we were talking about it too with the Rangers Cup Destiny 94. This is looking like the 94 Eastern Conference Finals between the Rangers and the Devils. Devils are up 3-1 now. It's 3-2, and then you know what happened with the rest. So maybe kind of a little flip flop because Mark Messier was an Oiler, so you never know.
That would be something else. Even though the Oilers they had 24 shots on net tonight, still finished with 4. Well, they finished with 5, but we're going to count 4 goals.
That's insane. That's insane
Yeah.
that they can do these low scoring shots on goal and still win games. Insane.
Yeah. And I think it goes to credit to a little bit of their defensive play in the last 2 games. Like we said, we talked about it before, is how Edmonton's blue line and defensive pairs have to be better if they want any chance of winning the Stanley Cup, and they have been, and they're showing that they're a team capable. They're there for a reason, and now they're showing that they're a team very capable of coming back from a 3-0 deficit to win a cup, which would be just bonkers if that actually happened. Absolutely, it would be bonkers in my opinion.
Well, I was talking to a few Bruins fans, and they're just waiting for that downfall.
Yeah.
So.
I bet everybody in the Eastern Conference is like, yeah, like let's go Oilers. Yeah. I don't know if I don't know. I'd like to see another St. Louis guy get a ring this year. We already got one in Jason Tatum in Boston. To get a ring. So go ahead and give, even though they say his hometown's in Arizona, he's really from St. Louis. Give Matty Tkachuk a ring. And you know how disappointing that's got to be too for the Florida Panthers to go up 3-0 and just be outplayed in the last 2 games.
Now, let's say if the Oilers win in 7, is this a bigger collapse than the Boston Bruins of last year? I feel like it's tied.
It's close. They're close. Man, that is tough. I don't know. I almost want to kind of reminds me of was it the Sharks and Golden Knights a couple of years ago? The Sharks or was it Sharks and Kings? I think it was Sharks and Kings.
It was Sharks and Kings, I think in 2012.
Yeah, the Sharks were up 3-0 in that series, if I remember right.
Yep,
and they looked very dominant Sharks team at that point in time, and they ended up. Yeah, what it was 13. I think it was 13 because it was the same year, or no, it might have been 12 because it was the year that they ended up winning the Stanley Cup. Yeah, against the. Oh, no, that wasn't the year they beat the Rangers, was it?
No, the Kings won for that one was the Devils. That was the Devils.
Okay, that's what Martin Brodeur, and the New Jersey Devils. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. It has that like vibe a little bit, but it also has that like like Toronto Boston type series.
Oh yeah,
type of vibe too. It was that they were down. Boston, Toronto was up 3. If they were up 3-0 too in that series, weren't they? A couple years ago, it was 2018, 19, or 17.
I think I was 18, and I think they were up 3-0 or 3-1 or something at that point.
Boston ended up winning that series and moving on. I don't remember who they ended up playing. Probably Tampa Bay, my guess.
It was, I think they smoked them.
Yeah. Kind of gives me that little bit of a vibe. So it's got to be up there. I think what'll make it worse is the fact that it's the Stanley Cup Finals. This was just a normal like round 1 or 2 series. I don't think it'd be as big of a deal with the fact that it's a Stanley Cup Finals. I think that's where it would come into that. Yeah, this is pretty bad. to blow a 3-0 lead when you were the dominant team in the first 3 games of the series, also.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So we talked about in game 3 what the Oilers needed to do to start winning games.
yeah.
So now what do the Panthers need to do? Because they also, I didn't watch it, but I
No.
heard about it from Ray Ferrero. They had 7 men on the ice in game 4 because the crowd was so loud. So what
It's not,
adjustments do the Panthers need to do to win game 6?
for me, they got to stop taking penalties with the way that Edmonton's power play is. Like we already mentioned, 3 of their last 9 or 11 or something like that. That's for power play goals at this point of the season in the Stanley Cup Finals. Those are pretty solid numbers. Those are numbers that'll win you a cup. They got to stay out of the box, and they got to stop. I don't want to say they have to stop like being physical, because I think that's just part of their game. Part of the Panthers' game is having that little like physicality, but this little extra chippiness. I think it's what's they gotta kind of chill out on. But I know it's gotta be frustrating for Florida right now to be in the situation they're in and knowing that they're backpedaling a little bit, and it's not in a good way. So I don't know. I think they just they got to come into Game 6, and they got to have that mindset of we're closing it out. This is it. There's nothing else after tonight. It's their do or die game. Because if they lose Game 6, I don't think they win the Stanley Cup. I really don't think they do.
Yeah, I can see that. You're down. You're up 3-0. You're 3-3. It's
Yeah.
almost like, I mean, I hate to bring it in baseball. It's almost like Red Sox Yankees.
Yeah.
No, 4. It's the same thing that happened. So I could see that happening if they don't win game 6. I just think their first line needs to show up. And if Barkov is as hurt as they're saying he is, I would honestly move Vladimir back up to first line.
Or
Unless,
Verhaeghe. Well, no, they don't play the same position, so never mind. Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, Vladimir's had 2 goals so far in the Stanley
Yep.
Cup. He's obviously proven, hey, I can go back to being the top wing. Bring him up. Maybe that'll help out the Florida Panthers on that end. And then I think Bobrovsky just needs to just RELAX. He needs to just relax.
Yeah.
He's not a 2-time Vezina winner for nothing.
Right.
And granted it was for Columbus, but still, he knows what he's doing. He's a big Russian that can get the job done. So I think that's what they need to do. Just have him relax. Let the Panthers just play the Panthers game. And I think they can get it in Edmonton, but they really need to stay focused. And I definitely agree with the penalties. For Edmonton, keep that foot on the gas.
Yes, 100%.
Just keep pushing because it's showing that their speed is catching up to this Panthers team, and this Panthers defense, their blue line, is completely different from last year's. Yeah, you have a year on your belt, but the fact that it's not the same pairings, the Edmonton Oilers need to just strike on that. And they need to strike early and do exactly what they did in Game 6. Go up 2-0, and then it was 2-1, then it was 3-4-1, and just do that. Once you're up early on them, as I'm in the black screen here because
the lights went out.
It doesn't feel me talking.
Yeah.
I think that's what the Edmonton Oilers need to do. Just keep the foot on the gas.
Yeah. I would agree that with that. They just need to. Hey, not now. They do. I would agree. They just need to keep their foot on the gas. Use your home ice advantage that you get in Game 6 because it's your last home game.
Yep.
Use it. Use that. Use the crowd to your advantage. Make Florida make mistakes. Make them draw penalties because your power play is working right now. So keep that kind of stuff going. Keep that confidence of Stuart Skinner, and it'll be. Again, like I said, I think if they win Game 6, they'll walk away with the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Connor McDavid needs to channel his inner Wayne Gretzky. He's just. I'll say he's just as good as him. And I think if that happens and he puts his first goal on the board for Game 6, that momentum for this team is going to ride high because they follow him and they follow him in the battle. We've seen it for years. And if he starts it off with the first goal, it's over. It's over for Florida in Game 6.
Yeah, it's one of those. You consider yourself a superstar. Um, do it. Show us that you can be that guy that can put a team on their back like that. So we'll see what
Absolutely.
happens in game six Friday night. You got any final thoughts on things before we head out tonight?
Yeah, I guess I'll keep saying what I'm saying. Oilers in 7. I said it a few times on Twitter. So Oilers in 7, and again, make sure you subscribe, like, download, tell your friends about the 5 hole, tell them about Variety Sports Network, sub Variety, and also too, like we've been doing for the past 5 games, we're going right after the games. Hit that little bell button in the corner. Put some comments in the comment section. We answer it all, it looks like, on the Variety Sports Network. And yeah, go Oilers.
All right. So that'll wrap it up tonight. We'll be back for game six, this game six post game show right here on the Variety Sports Network on the 5 hole. Thanks for tuning in. As Aaron said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it out to everybody you know. We greatly appreciate the support, and we will see you on Friday night.